Hey guys, welcome back. This is RE Geeks. We're talking everything technology and real estate. We're going to be talking about your bio. Why is it important to have a good bio? And what does that mean? I mean, where should I update it? I mean, how should I update it? Where do I update it? And can I update it? And what is my stinking password when to update all these stinking things? The biggest thing is like Michael's going to chastise me on this show because he helped me redo my bio on LinkedIn and a couple other places. And he's going to make it so stinking simple for everybody out there. It's going to break your heart. So without ado, Mr. Michael Fielden, how are you, brother?
Good, Greg. Hope you're doing well. It's funny as we start this show all the time, I get so nervous. You're like, okay, I hit go live and I keep waiting. There's like a 10-second delay and it gets longer every show before it says live. And I wonder, it's like, are they really teasing us? And there's 5 seconds where we're just standing there looking stupid, or
No,
do we
we
really go
look
live?
handsome.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I talked about this last time, guys. I got a new hat. I'm trying to channel my Greg McDaniel, and I'm so excited. We're going to be the RE Geeks Hat Brigade. And I
Yeah.
did get this question on one of my other shows. I have behind me a clock that does not tell time. Yes, it has a battery in it. It is, sorry about that. It is an atomic clock, and it has a battery in it. But apparently the wall and the copier that are right there don't allow the atomic part to catch on. So it ends up not telling time.
So it's like a bio in real estate. It's about 2 times a day.
Yep. So here's the best part. I told my wife, I didn't explain the details. I said, I need a new clock. And she went out and bought me a new clock. I told her what I wanted. I said, I still want it to be round. I need it to be about this big. And she said, I couldn't find a blue one. I got you a white one. I said, that'll be fine.
That's great.
Greg, she came home with the same frickin' clock in white.
You gotta love the effort, though.
So I have an atomic one in blue, an atomic one on white, and I still can't have a good time over there. But just
No
know
pun
that
intended, right?
we always record at the same time.
At 6:05.
Yeah, no, is that 6:05? Yeah, I guess that is 6:05. So pretty exciting. Hey, I'm excited about today's show. Greg, I've been a proponent for real estate agents for a long time. I support agents in tech, I support agents in marketing all the time. And one of the things that I talk to people about all the time is being visible. And you talk about it a lot. And I think you are the one that turned me on to the phrase, don't be a secret agent. But I also think it's important for agents to put their best foot forward in social media, whether that be LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is you're using. And part of that is about consistency. And I think the bio is where I'm going to encourage people to start. It's about having a wonderful bio. Now, Greg, I'm going to use you as an example here.
I knew you would use me as the kicking dog. Okay.
And I'm going to dive right into this, and I'm going to go to your LinkedIn page. So we're going to fire that up. I'm going to add that here. And here's your LinkedIn page. So first thing I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to talk about Greg's LinkedIn page. Okay. Compelling picture in the background. Greg's part of EXP, and I think that's something EXP-ish or $1 Million Agent-ish going on in the background.
Actually, that was a speaking gig in Australia. I was speaking with the biggest speaker and trainer in Australia at that point.
Okay, perfect. Relatively compelling picture as your bio
What do you mean
picture.
relatively?
It's a little boring.
What?
It looks a little AI.
No, that is a real photo. I was really there.
Okay, really looks boring. It's this gray background doesn't do anything for you. And I would encourage you to maybe zoom in a little bit next time. Okay.
Okay. Zoom in.
Not terrible though. All right. So now let's talk about the next part. And Greg, I realize you have a variety of roles, right? You've got the role of being a real estate agent. You've got the role of being a marketer. You've got the role here at RE Geeks. You've got all this stuff that you do that you bring to the table, and you're trying to create a single page to do all of that. It's going to be harder for you. But let's go through what most people see right away. Walnut Creek real estate agent. Okay. Little limiting, right? Walnut Creek is a relatively small area. Okay.
Mhm.
25 years experience. You liar.
No, I'm
You're
26 now.
older than that.
So I'm 26 in the business now.
All right. Well, okay. 26. It feels like forever. Now you have a conflicting phrase here. Northern Cal Bay Area real estate agent. Okay. We are hiring agents for our EXP team worldwide. And then your phone number. I'm going to tell you that I really, from this, don't know that you're any more than a real estate agent. And maybe that's okay. Okay. Does talk about where you're from, Alamo, California. That's great.
Mhm.
All right. I would encourage you to get rid of these check marks because people don't search for check marks. Right.
This was written for me, by the way. I didn't write this myself.
Yep. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. So then as I scroll down, okay, highlights are because I'm logged in as me. Greg's got his groups and we are part of them. Now you've got your resume here. The first thing I would tell you is, are you looking for a real estate agent in Northern California who has 2 decades of experience and will be a relentless champion for you, whether you are buying a first home, relocating, moving up, or downsizing? It's not bad, but again, it's a little bit cold. We sell homes, we sell dreams. In some cases, we sell fantasies, right? People want to get into a house and you help them do that. One of the things that I absolutely love, and I encourage every single one of you to do this, is you've written this in the first person. So now it's, I get my clients more money in less time and help you find your dream home at the best price and terms. My passion is real estate, and my commitment is to make sure every deal is done right and that I have every client, and that every client is treated fairly. That fact that you're writing in the first person is something that people can capture. Okay. I also want to point out to everyone that you've done a really good job of telling what you do and how it benefits your client. Okay. So I have 2 decades of experience and be relentless champion for you, whether you are buying, selling, and again, he's using you as much as he's using I. Okay, this is really important, guys. I see a lot of people that write their LinkedIn bio in the third person. Who are you kidding? None of us are that important. We're here to help people. Okay, as we keep going into this, Greg talks a little bit more about himself. I literally began my career in real estate at my father's knee. Go, Terry. And it would not be an exaggeration to say that real estate is in my blood. I learned the real estate industry from my dad, Terry McDaniel, a 42-year real estate veteran, acting as his chauffeur and watching him negotiate real estate transactions. As a partner of McDaniel Callahan Real Estate, I work with a team of professionals dedicated to educating buyers and sellers about every aspect of the real estate process and providing the highest degree of service with the goal of providing every client with a seamless transaction that gets results. Okay, Greg, I'm just going to add one thing here. This first kind of sub paragraph, I began my career and I worked as chauffeur and watching him negotiate. This is a really valuable paragraph. What you did not do with this paragraph, though, is tell me how this helps your clients. Okay, what is this? How does this help your clients?
gives context to kind of relationship building. Like,
Mhm.
hey, I didn't just jump into this thing. I had to walk my
Okay.
way up the ladder of success. And I think that it really, in that phrase, which I liked, is that it's a true story. I mean, when I was
Yeah.
16 years old, got my license, and I thought Dad and I were going to drive around, listen to music, roll the windows down, put the baseball hats backwards, and rock out. No, windows up, air conditioning on, no music, and Dad on phone negotiating deals. So
Okay.
for me, it brings context. For my clients, it has no bearing. They don't care.
I think you're wrong. I think they
Okay.
do care. And if I took away everything else and said you were a chauffeur in the Danville, Alamo, Walnut Creek area, what's the benefit to your clients?
I know the neighborhoods.
You know the neighborhoods. Okay. And you have X number of years driving around with Terry, one of the better negotiators in the industry.
Hmm. He
You learned some of
negotiates
that.
me into a corner every single time I talk to
Yeah.
him. So yeah.
But this also brings about, it's like, okay, so what did you learn here? So I learned how to negotiate from the ground up, right? Everything I did with my dad was about a negotiation. And I learned how to translate that to benefit my clients. So
So
I think the words are there. You just need to finish the sentence.
okay, so walk me through finishing the sentence. Would you use it like with the just type it out, or would you go to chat, or would you
I,
go to another AI? I mean, would you
I
reconfigure it?
we're going to talk about chat at the end because I think doing some of this in AI makes sense. But I would say, this driving around experience taught me what the neighborhoods of Danville, Alamo, and I would put the cities in there. Bring people home. Not everybody knows what the East Bay is. Right. And I think, some people might be searching for a city because they like the city, not necessarily because they know where it is.
True.
Okay. And
I,
it's
I I
like,
think a lot. Okay, let me back up your conversation, your comment here. I think the way this is written is from like you're saying, like someone who knows the area, right?
yeah,
And so if Michael Fielden from Boston is moving to the Bay Area, he's like, what in the heck is the East Bay? Where is the East Bay? What does that mean? So I think there is a good distinction there. So just because you know it doesn't mean everybody else knows it.
very
So
true.
very good clarification on that.
Yeah. And, it's funny, Greg, because I live in Silicon Valley. You live in Alamo. You were in the East Bay, right?
I am.
Okay. You're not anywhere near the water, dude.
I'm 30 minutes away, but yeah, no.
I'm 30 minutes away from the ocean. I don't say that I'm living on the beach.
I don't say I'm living on the beach either.
No, but you say you're living in the bay.
In the Bay Area.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's miraculous, but that's what I'm saying. For people that are from somewhere else, this is an important fact, right? The fact is that people don't necessarily understand that you can go from the Bay to Oakland to Berkeley to Piedmont to a hill, and you're still 20 minutes from there, right? You still got to go through what? Lafayette, Orinda.
Yeah, Lafayette, Orlando. Then hit Berkeley, then Oakland, and then you hit the bridge, and then
It,
you're in the city.
it's
But I
far.
mean,
It's
it's
all
right. But here's the thing: if more clarification would be helpful, but I mean, if you have done any research on the Bay Area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like saying New York City or Manhattan or Boston or Texas, like Houston. You know where they are immediately in your brain. San Diego, Los Angeles. You get what the general vicinity is, and then you can kind of go from that point. But I do believe if you want to get business from LinkedIn or working on your bio on any platform, specificity, that's not even a word, being specific in regards to your geolocation is something that this bio does not have. And I appreciate that. And I think a lot of people should listen to that and look at it and really kind of think about it.
Yep. All right. So next part, as a partner in McDaniel Callahan Real Estate, I work with a team of professionals dedicated to educating buyers and sellers about every aspect of the real estate process and providing the highest degree of service with the goal of providing every client with a seamless transaction that gets results. Okay, so not bad. I think it's a bit of a run on. What I would say is, as a partner, I work with a team of professionals, blah, 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 dedicated to educating buyers and sellers about every aspect of real estate, period. With this knowledge, I enable those, I will enable you, because again, we want to make people feel like you care about them. Your bio in real estate should be more about how you benefit your customers than about who you are.
It's always about the value add out to the individuals who have searched you out, and they're like, oh my gosh, like I found Greg, I found Michael, I found Steve, I found Stacy, whatever, and let me check them out. And then you're like, oh, they work in this specific area, they do this specific action, this is how they operate. Okay, this is worth a phone call.
Yep.
And I agree. After having this being read to me, we're not even done yet. I understand that. There is definite tweaks to be made, and I want to hear your thoughts on that as we move through this.
So, all right, as we keep going, that next sentence there is pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm going to finish this. Providing the highest degree of service with the goal of providing every client with a seamless transaction that gets results. So one of the things that I'm going to implore you to do, Greg, is add both the you and the how.
Okay.
Right?
You and how.
Because you don't have any how, right? Providing the highest degree of service. How?
Oh, that's a good point. Like, how am I going to bring this high level of service? And then bing, bang, 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 bullet points, knock it out. This is how I bring value to my clientele. This is how I get you the most money, or the property at the lowest price or the best terms, selling highest and best terms. This is how we operate.
Okay. And then I'm going to tell you that your bio should also be a living document. And as the market changes, Greg, that how might become different. My experience here is going to teach you how to weather a market that might be slowing down. One of the things that you have with your experience with your dad in 25 years is you've seen the cycles, right? And you only talk about that experience, 2 decades of experience, one time here. And I think that, people have to realize, when was our last downturn?
Oh, I'm sorry, say it again.
When was our last downturn? 2013?
So obviously 08 was a downturn.
08 was a big one.
We're in 2025. 13, 14, I want to say.
13, 14. You've lived through those.
Yeah.
You and I both know that there are a lot of agents that don't know what went on in 2008.
Oh my God. It was a light switch that flipped off.
And we could do a whole show on this. I have pictures of stuff that would turn your stomach from what people, the way they left the market. This was kind of that foreclosure era, and it was scary.
It was terrifying.
And, people, we talk about the banks being fraudulent and, robo signing, and there were all those problems, but you also had a number of people that bought homes with money they didn't have.
Yep.
And then decided, oh, I'm going down. I'm going to buy another home on the down and just walk away from the home I overpaid on. So the market was just crazy for a long time.
It was. But let's jump back into the bios
Yep.
and let's talk about. Okay, so we've identified a few of the flaws in this bio. Let's
Okay.
identify the last few, and then
Yep.
let's talk about how to correct them and show them how they can do it themselves.
Exactly. Okay. So the next one I actually think is a different spin. And I think what you've done here is kind of unique, but it creates some disparity, right? You've got an about, you've got a background, you've got a real estate uncensored podcast. All right. I think that for those people that are coming to you as a realtor, they don't know what a podcast is and how it's going to
Oh,
help
they're
them.
not that dumb.
Oh, dumb is the wrong term. I just don't think everybody knows what a real estate uncensored podcast is. Okay, but let's go on for a second. A podcast
Google it.
with a mission to bring real estate agents and actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a lifestyle of freedom. Okay, what I would tend to suggest, Greg, and I've listened to your podcast and I know what we're doing here, is this section is not about real estate uncensored. This is your bio. This section is about how you've given back to the community of real estate and how this is going to help other people.
Right. So, but the context there is to show that there is a visible, presence in the public eye, so that it's not like, oh, I'm just, so and so from blah 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 yakety schmack brokerage. It's like, hey, go look me up. Go see if I'm full of it, or if I really have something to bring value to you, and I actually know what I'm talking about. And so the reason why that is there is so that people can go search me, go listen to me.
Sure. Okay.
And if they like
So
me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. Because in that podcast, there's a lot of cussing involved, but there's also a heck of a lot of content that can be valuable to an agent or to someone who might be wanting to become an agent, or someone who just wants to verify to the fact that I can actually speak about the business that I'm in, versus someone who goes like, "Yeah, I sell real estate, and yeah, it's amazing, and yeah, the market's awesome, and yeah, work with me."
okay.
No,
So what if you did this a little bit differently though? So
okay,
I'm
walk me
not
through that.
saying get rid of it. What if you changed real estate? Because Real Estate Uncensored is not your only podcast. I know you do a bunch of other ones and you've had a lot of success doing this. What if you changed this to internationally recognized podcaster?
Yeah, that would be a very much more of a open open palette of conversation topics. I
Yep.
mean, but would you say that, like, hey, international podcaster, influencer, I'm just making stuff up as I go here, um, and be able to say that, and say, hey, here are the links to my different shows.
You could do that. You could put those below so that people get it. But I also think, you know, you say a podcast with a mission. We're talking about you. This is your bio. How do we pump you up? Right. And I think the bio is, you know, what you really want to say, and these aren't the words you want to use, is you as a realtor are giving back to the community and you're doing it to help educate other people, to improve the system as a whole, right? I mean, guys, every time I have a problem with real estate, Greg's one of the few people I will call to say, hey, I can't get in, the door's locked or whatever. As well as what do I do in this situation? Okay, because he's got the experience and the knowledge, and you've got to come up with a way to do that, to say that. And why are you podcasting? Why do I want to listen to you versus anybody else?
That's a good point, and I guess there has to be more context there. This was written for me a long period of time
Yep.
ago. Um, but I mean, some of these numbers are off, but I understand what you're talking about. So what you're really drilling down on is being specific, being hyper local in regards to your content, on kind of how you want to be perceived and viewed. Don't be 10,000 feet. Get down in the weeds on this thing, but be concise. Don't be long winded because everyone has a microwave brain. I mean, it's like 30 seconds, bang, I'm out the door. I mean, look at,
Yeah.
shorts and reels, 60 seconds, you're out the door. And sometimes I don't even watch 60 seconds. I might watch 14 seconds, 15 seconds. And then I'm like, I'm bored, move on. So be concise, be surgical, and get it done fast so the brain can consume it. Because people, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, if you like the vagueness of this, as Michael is pulling my hair out as we talk about this, it's a true fact. I didn't even know it, but now I'm being shown it, and I think that a lot of us in our bios and the way we communicate, we're going long-winded versus short-winded. Short-winded is what people want to talk about, and just bullet point it out and just be like, I do this, this, that, boom, bing, bing, bang, boom. Any questions? And they're like, dude, you like saved me 30 minutes of my life. No, I'm good. Like, I want to hire you. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, and to that end, Greg, I'm going to tell you in your bio, you've got some things in here that you just don't need, right?
Oh boy.
When we talk about this one section here, and I'm trying to find my mouse here, this. Okay.
What?
I broadcast live on Facebook this is when people tune out.
That's really old, and I definitely need to change that.
That's also the truth, right?
And that goes back to your living documents, comment in the beginning of the show. I mean, this is a very old, antiquated bio. Very, I mean, old. Probably 6, 7, 8, 9, probably at least 7 years ago, at least.
Yep. Okay, so that one we would change around quite a bit. I also think that this what you can expect. I think the check marks are a little distracting to me, but that's a personal opinion. I also think you need to translate this to what this means.
I kind of like the check marks.
Then keep the check marks. But access to the latest technology and trends for what?
Man, you are just taking me through the cheese shredder.
Okay. First class service on every level of like a fourth floor apartment building. And I think what you're saying is okay, but you need to turn it into access to the latest technology and trends, which will help you find better property results faster and easier than any other path or whatever it is you want to do, right?
Right.
However you want to sell that. First class service on every level, I would nuke that one completely, right?
Okay, we'll take it out.
That's arbitrary. Knowledge of the Northern California community and all its resources.
Not a big fan of that one.
I'm not a big fan of that one either, but I think you could turn that into hyper local, born and raised in the San Francisco East Bay with extensive knowledge to help you find, the best area, something that translates what that gives back. Because born and raised is important, guys, whether you think it is or not. It's an attachment that not everybody has.
It's true. I moved down to Santa Barbara, a number of years ago, long time ago.
Don't tell me.
And I remember going out to the bars with my buddy Casey and a bunch of his buddies because he lived down there before me. And I remember so vividly when it comes to being hyper local and like relevant. And I turned to one of the girls we were out with, and I'm like, I'm a local now. Dude, I got shot down so hard. They were like, you are not a local. And I'm like,
not a local.
I'm like, what do you mean? Like, she's like, I've been here for 12 years and I'm still not a local. I'm like, oh, I've been here for like a week. Okay, I guess I'm not.
Yeah.
But that brings relevance back to what you're saying is the fact that being hyper specific in regards to anything you're putting out there and knowing your boundaries and kind of how this flows. But it's it's a conundrum in regards to like what should I put in, what should I not put in, what should I say, what I should not, or what shouldn't I say? Like, how does this work? Going down that whole rabbit hole. So
Yeah.
I cut you off. I
Nope,
apologize. I'll let you
no problem.
continue.
All right. Passion, drive, and commitment. Who cares?
Yeah.
All right. You just want to check.
I don't want to check. I want them to get a check.
Right. Okay. Accessibility and communication about every step of your transaction.
That's cool. I like that one.
What
do you mean? Ugh? How would you change it then?
I would change it around to I would get rid of it.
Oh my God. You used to get rid of the whole bio?
Because it's not a how. How does this help them?
Because I'm accessible.
They don't know what that means yet.
Accessibility? Any English reader knows what that means.
Yeah, but they don't believe it. It doesn't translate. Education about the process. Who's getting educated?
Oh my God, you're just killing me.
And a team you can count on. What's the team? This is about Greg McDaniel. Okay. We're going to come back to those. And then you have your contact info, which I actually think is good. However,
oh boy.
What's missing?
DRE number?
Dun, dun, dun.
They actually haven't found me yet. So I need to go change that.
Well, while we were sitting here, I sent an email in. So I reported you for advertising without your DRE number.
Yeah. Go check what last time I logged into this thing first off.
Yeah. So guys, as real estate agents, you need to have your DRE number in there. And it can be
and your broker's name.
And your broker name. It could be in here. Okay. Greg doesn't even have his broker name here at all.
Nope.
Do you even
I'm in violation hardcore on this one.
Yeah. You're bad.
It's going to be changed by the time anybody sees this or listens to this. This will be changed. So do not report me. Thank you very much.
I didn't. But you know what, guys? There are people that will. Greg says something pisses somebody off. It's going to go. Okay. So let's talk about how to fix this. And I know that the modern model would be copy this into chat and say, rewrite my bio to something that's better and more customer centric. And you can do that, but it's got to carry over parts of you. And so what I'm going to encourage you guys to do is start a little bit differently. Start your bio and put in there, these are the 5 things or the 10 things that I want to get across. Because Greg's bio, while I've sat here and shredded it apart, is better than most, because I would bet you that there is a large number of people that watch this video that have no bio or 5 lines.
And I didn't have a bio for a long period of time. Then a wonderful woman came in and wrote this for me probably 10 years ago. And I was like, okay, that works. I mean, that looks good. But now, like going back again to a living document, it has to be updated consistently. So let's say you work at one brokerage, then you shift to another brokerage. Maybe you leave a team, build a team, but you never update all these bios. Michael, how would you suggest somebody do that? Would they do it like on a Word doc and copy and repaste, or what would you do?
I would take some sort of document and I would start by writing out the things that you want to include in your bio. And I would do that almost a little bit differently than most other people, because I would go in, let's see if I have my 1 second here. I am gonna fire up.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna keep it clean.
Go ahead, make a joke. Give me 30 seconds to find this.
You're gonna fire up a doobie and get groovy?
Yeah, there you go.
Told you.
Oh, I didn't do it. Okay, so here is how do I love these share screens. So I'm going to suggest, and I'm going to show you guys a very brief version of this
Oh boy.
in another presentation that we've done where we're going to talk about a sample prompt for ChatGPT. Now, this was designed to fit in a slide, and you'll notice there's no period at the end. It keeps going. But I'm going to encourage you to start by opening up a Word doc or a Google Sheet and literally put in there the areas that you service, the skills that you have, and put them just in blocks. Alamo, California, Danville, California, all those areas that you service. Then the skills that you have. I'm a podcaster. I'm a good communicator. I'm a good negotiator. All of those things. And then you're going to write out all of these different things. And then you're going to create a prompt similar to what you see here, right? Generate a professional bio for Jane Smith, a seasoned realtor and marketing executive with over 15 years of experience. Okay. You're going to put in the terms that make sense for you. Okay. Again, I am abbreviating this to fit onto a slide. You are not limited to the number of words that you can put into a prompt. My bio prompt right now is about 5 pages long. Okay.
Jeez.
Because I want the details in there. Highlight her role as a top producing realtor of Keller Williams Brokerage. Now, here's where I would say her recent recognition. Make sure that your bio prompt also includes what makes Keller Williams strong, or EXP, or wherever you are, so that it's not just a passing glance, right? Because you're with your broker for a reason. Her recent recognition as top producer and her passion for innovative digital negotiating strategies. Use a formal and informative tone. Please write the following bio. And here's the good part, Greg. I've abbreviated all of that, right? So that could be pages of information. But here's the winner on this prompt. Please write the following bio in 3 different ways.
I like that part.
Okay. I want a full-length bio, no longer than 3 paragraphs. I'm going to tell you that's probably too short. I would do 5 or 6 paragraphs, but play around with it. 1 bio for LinkedIn, 1 bio for Facebook and Instagram. Use bullets and emojis where appropriate. I don't recommend using emojis anymore. That was a bit of a passing fad.
You know what? I agree with you because I find like my mom does emojis and text messages, and it honestly, like it irks me a little bit. But she's having fun, and it's me, mom and son, communicating. But I think with professional basis on bios, I agree with you on that.
I don't know. Okay, I shrunk this down a little so we can get that last sentence in there. Use bullets, and below are the key points to include. And this is where you're going to add in other highlights of your career, your podcasting, your stuff, you're benefiting the community, all of those pieces. And what you're going to get is 3 bios that you're probably going to think, wow, these are pretty damn good. And if you have nothing, they're going to be really good.
Okay.
If you are an expert, you are now going to take those bios and you're going to massage them. And you're going to work them in to be your language. Now, one of the things that I do like about Greg's bio, and somehow I lost your thing on the prompt here, Greg. Let me.
No worries. Yeah, I get it. I'm forgettable. It's okay. No big deal. My feelings aren't hurt.
So you can only share one screen, I guess, is where I dropped out to open that up. Okay. So going back, I do like that you have chunks that are manageable here. You have these 3 paragraphs. And what you have to remember is that each one of these paragraphs is about as much as any one person is going to read. Okay. They're going to pick the piece that's most important to them, and they're going to get out what they want from it. don't think anybody's going to read your whole bio.
No, they're going to skim it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the things, Michael, let me ask you this question based upon this commentary. I mean, a lot of the times when people make videos and I advise them on making videos, I say be as long as you have to, but as short as you can.
As long as you have to, as short as you can. Okay, I sort of disagree with that in bio. And
But
the
why? That's the
reason,
same. That's what you just said, though. That's literally what you just said.
yeah, but a little bit different. This is why I go to the 5 paragraphs. Read of 5 sections isn't going to change whether people read the 10 seconds they want or not. However, unlike a video, and this is changing even in the video realm, Greg, is we have this tool up at the top. And this search tool is huge. And it searches this context here. So one of the things that you want to try to get is context in this document that can really talk about who you are that people might search for. And if you are a realtor, and this is one of the things that you do not do in yours either, Greg, is
Mm-hmm.
you do not have the word realtor anywhere in your bio.
Yes, it is McDaniel Real Estate Team.
Realtor.
Real estate team.
Realtor.
What are we cussing at each other? Realtor.
You're saying real estate team, which I think is great, but I also think you need to use real estate agent, which you do, and I think you need to use realtor. And if you do property management or leasing, you need to include those terms because you want to be found. And I just found out you do actually. Well, no, that's in your mutual. You want to be found by any term that people search for.
It says Association of Realtors.
This is in highlights. This is AI created, does not search out.
Ah,
So just and it's just a term. Is it nitpicking? Yes. But it's one free word and one more possibility for you to show up in search results.
Okay, that's a good point. Do you want to do would it be a hashtag or just be the word?
Just put the word in there somewhere. You don't need a hashtag, just anywhere on the page, right? Anywhere in your text, just have it once. I mean, you could have it all the way down here, Greg McDaniel, realtor.
Yeah, no. Okay.
I know you're thinking, who cares? And realtor is probably overplayed. But for those of you that are watching this that, maybe do property management, people forget about these things all the time. Do not assume that you are going to be found when somebody is searching for realtor if you have real estate team in there. You won't be. Okay, so Greg, we always try to give people at the end of this a feel for what comes next. And
right.
I think our next show, and hopefully you guys are watching through to here because I'm going to tell you why you want to watch the next show. In between now and our next show, I want you to create your bio. And I also want you to create a fact sheet about yourself, the areas that you cover, the facts about the brokerage that you work for, all of your life dreams. If you could get a 30-page document out of this, I would be thrilled.
30-page document.
Okay. Most people aren't going to get there. Some people are wordy.
I just had a heart attack thinking about 30 pages.
But here's what I want from that, Greg. Next week, we are going to talk about the master prompt.
We are, excuse me. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, the master prompt, you and I have already talked about this, and we've kind of done some offline, test drives. Guys, gals, I'm deadly serious about this. The master prompt is insane. And it's the same concept that Michael's talking about right here. Go 30 pages deep on how to create this master prompt. I mean, if your dog as a kid was named Fido, put it in there. I mean, put every piece of content you can possibly put in there. I'm exaggerating about Fido, but you know what I mean. Like, it's going super deep. I mean, the stuff that you don't think you should talk about, and I'm not being weird when I say that. like, oh, nobody's going to be interested in that I am a fly fisher. Yes,
Yes,
they
you will.
are.
And here's why we're going to do this. The master prompt is about teaching AI to your benefit. And we're really going to talk about that and how you can get the most out of AI
Yeah,
for
it's
the
pretty
least.
awesome.
And what I want you to walk away from the master prompt class with is pretty straightforward. I want you to understand that AI is way, way more than 2 lines. It's way more than write me a bio for my real estate page. Okay. When I write a prompt for AI, it can be paragraphs and pages because what I want to do is I want to provide context. And the
Right.
master prompt approach is going to automate that context for you. So when you get results, it knows who you are, it knows who your brokerage is, it knows what your experience is, and it's able to take that information and use that knowledge to produce more authentic and true to you information than ever before. Really don't want to miss this, Greg. I'm super excited. And I know that you and I have been talking about this for the last couple of days. This is the primer to really creating what is amazing for you with AI.
Yeah, it really is, guys. It's like a blowtorch to start a bonfire. It's going to do all the heavy lifting for you. Then you just get to enjoy sitting around the bonfire with all that wonderful heat, aka listings, buyers, sellers, referrals, public not acknowledgments because they know who you are. So, Michael, let's wrap it up here. We're on our time frame, and so is everybody else. So, where can everybody find you, and what the heck do you do for a living?
I am a technologist for real estate. You can find me at supportgeeks.com, and that will tell you a little bit about what my company does, which is marketing, technology, and business operation support for real estate brokers and agents. You can find Greg and I both at Michael at regeeks.com or Greg at regeeks.com. And we're always happy to help. You can find out who we are on the Support Geeks page. And regeeks.com is coming soon, Greg. I am almost done and have been working on that. And the cobbler's children will get it finished.
Well, you know what? That's the greatest thing, guys. Anticipation is going to hopefully get you guys tantalized to go learn a little bit more about what we do and our kind of who we associate with, and so on and so forth. But I appreciate you guys being here. And we just look forward to seeing you guys on the next show. Michael, to the rest of the people, until next time, guys, we love you. Boom. Peace.
Take
We're
care,
out of
guys.
here.